Thursday in the shop. We've just sold one engagement ring yesterday or the day before. And there's another one being made now. It's a 1.2 carat FSI2 for a good client of ours. Bought a couple watches of us over the years, proposing it to his missus. Just gave us a green light, gave us a budget and just said order the best stone you can for that budget. So that's exactly what we've done. We've got him an FSI1 GIA, it's a 1.2 carat, about to be set in his bespoke engagement ring.
Any other customers due today or?
We've got a guy coming in potentially to look at the Vampire AP offshore. He came in on these women are coming in now.
Sure, are you filming?
Yeah, you're just filming the day. You're not going to be on camera though, don't worry. How can we help?
I just thought we can have a look.
Yeah, cool. So that couple just came in. They're from Australia. They're here for a week, looking for a ladies' Patek. We had a lovely 7010R last week, but it sold unfortunately. Is that right? 7010R. We had a lovely 7010R, but we sold that on Monday. So we're gonna try and find a ladies' Patek for them.
Okay, sure.
How can we help?
So I have this Tissot watch, but the crown is broken.
Okay.
I don't know how much it costs to repair it, but basically it's...
Yeah, it's probably not going to be that much to repair. We're quite busy with repairs. It's probably going to be quite a little while.
Okay, that's fine.
One thing that may be a little bit quicker, if you come around here, there's a place called Gray's Antiques Market.
Okay.
It's dead opposite Bond Street Station.
Yeah.
They might be able to do it for you there and then, because they might have a part they can just pop in. Here we have a Rolex Yachtmaster in titanium. Rolex only produced 2 titanium models, and this is one of them. This weighs 100 grams. It's a 2024 model, and it's available for 18,750. I personally like the look of the titanium on watches, and hopefully this will be the start, and Rolex will produce a few more titanium models, such as Submariners or GMTs. Where was that in Rolex?
At Watches of
Switzerland, yeah. Pre-owned, certified pre-owned section, yeah?
No, it is actually new.
Oh, was it new? Okay.
Yeah. I'm worried I'm going to get sick of the pearl. I don't love it.
Most women prefer pearl.
Yeah,
It's probably the most popular one for ladies, yeah.
And I mean, this is an old one, isn't it?
It's 2013, I think.
The dates,
This is 2022,
the dates
this one.
like yellow.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's the colour that they made back then, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a off-white-ish. That's a new one, that's a 2022 model, that.
And that is...
It's 12,750, that might be Rolex price back then. I don't know what's on there.
9.8.
Yeah, 9.8, that's what it was in Rolex.
So where do you source your watches from?
We buy them from dealers and people coming off the street. It's all over, really.
Okay.
I think I bought that one from a dealer.
So what's the price that you said?
12,750.
Okay.
Not 9.
No, not 9.8. No, that's the Rolex price in 2022.
Oh.
That's the Rolex tag. That's the original
what's
Winter. That's the original price when it was sold in 22. Yeah, from the shop 9.8. I think that would be. I don't know what the retail price is now. Probably 11 something. 11 something. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, 13k now.
What would you buy this one for?
Has it got papers?
Yep.
Yes.
It's got full. It's in 2000 and
2005. No, 2006. No, it's 7.
Does it have a
6 years old.
Okay. 6 years old? No, not 6 years old.
It's 11 years old.
Okay. Also, it's got a little card.
okay. So
You should know that.
2015.
Go for 250, it'd be around that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's very helpful.
No problem, of course.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Where are you guys from?
We're originally from South
South
Africa.
Africa, yeah.
We've been here almost 30 years.
Oh, right, okay. Still got a strong accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't lose it.
Okay,
no, all good.
Okay, thank
Cool.
you.
Lovely, thank you, cheers. That customer just walked in off the street, just looking at some 31 mils. She had a steel concealed class 26 mil she wanted to chop in, but I don't think we had the watch that she wanted. She wanted a diamond dial. We had this one, but not enough diamonds on it for her. Should have left my number really, but oh well.
How you doing, you right?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. What anything in particular you guys are looking for, or?
We're sniffing around, but Giorgio's looking at ladies' watches as well.
Okay.
So these are 26, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah. So this row, and just these two.
When they moved from 26 to 28?
2016.
No.
And also we have some more in the window, but if we don't have in particular what you're looking for, we can get in very quickly as well. So it's not always just about what we have here.
Yeah. What would it look
So
like?
that's the white dial. And then you've got the green.
This you have to think about it more as a bracelet than a watch. Almost, right? Being so small.
Yes, we
As in-
we are noticing now that we are selling
10
less.
years ago they were fine.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know,
Now people they wanted it.
even the last 2 years, it's changed a lot. We used to sell a lot of these, and now not as much as we used to sell.
Mhm.
But also with rose gold as always, you know, it all depends if your
Yeah.
partner has like rose gold jewelry, yellow gold jewelry.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
And this more or less, what's the price range?
this is a 28 mil, so this one,
This is the,
this one's quite expensive.
so
it's-
difficult. You can see it.
Yeah, this one's 2026. So the
it's
price,
brand new.
yeah. So the price is 14 and a half,
Right.
simply because it's brand new and it's green dial as well.
Yeah.
So
And the wide dial 26.
this one's 8K.
Okay, let me think about it.
No problem. Let me give you my number anyway.
Shows-
Well, lovely to meet you both anyway.
Yeah, you
Okay,
too.
no problem. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Right. So yeah, they were two guys that come off the street. Said he was looking for a watch for his partner. Wasn't 100% sure what they wanted. Just kind of getting ideas for now. Had a rough idea, but nothing set in stone. He's had a look at some bits. I gave him some prices. He's going to go back to her, see what she prefers. Maybe bring her in. Probably a better idea in that sense, because us as men find it hard to make decisions like that. So yeah, he's going to bring her in, and then hopefully we get it all done.
Alright then guys, some more questions for the YouTube today. I want to ask you if there's any mistakes that you've made in your journey of being a watch dealer, or any stories that stick out in your head.
I only got. No, we made a few. One that stands out was one when we first started selling watches. We bought a Hulk off someone. We bought a few watches off someone. What did we like? Two? One, two?
3 watches off him total.
Yeah,
The
Hulk- three watches
Hulk
bought.
was the third one.
Yeah, we bought 2 watches off him. They were all good. And then we ended up buying a Hulk. We didn't open the watch initially. We didn't open the watch. Took it to the shop the next day. Opened the watch, and the watch was fake. And then we went back to him, told him. He said we swapped the watch. Obviously, there was no proof. That was quite a big hit quite early on. We lost £13,500 there.
And at the time, obviously, like, so another one, a mistake tied into that. Obviously, we hadn't been trained that long. We hadn't had any business insurance, so like there was no
there was no
claim
cover
on the
for us.
insurance. There was no nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was just swallow the hit, move on.
But it's a
like,
lesson.
yeah, like it is a lesson. You know, we never made a mistake like that ever going forward. And it was kind of lucky it happened to us at the beginning, because it kind of just set our journey off, and we knew what we had to do from then on.
Every watch we buy now, every single watch, whether it's on the trade, from the trade, or from an end user, we open up every single watch and check that.
And also, we don't buy watches unless it's in store. And like
Everything's
for
on camera.
example, the watch we could have picked up elsewhere, but the money's not being paid till we get the watch in the shop and we do our checks.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got our business laid out a lot differently now. It's helped us on our journey for sure. Yeah, it was a big hit to take at the time, because at the time 13 grand for us was probably over 50% of our pot.
Yeah.
You know, like 13 grand was like, and I'm not saying 30 grand is not a lot of money, because it's a hell of a lot of money, but at the time it was almost
it was quite new.
it was almost everything to us.
Yeah.
You know, we was thinking, how are we ever going to make this 13 grand back again? You know, that was literally our thought at the time. You know, we thought we ain't ever getting out of this.
Again, quite early on, we were buying a platinum TBR day date, and it was the first like big watch we were going to remember.
Oh yeah,
Platinum
yeah,
TBR
yeah,
day
yeah.
date. It was the first big watch we were buying. It was probably
Yeah.
way out of our league, to be fair. We was brokering it, and
Yeah,
we
literally.
didn't notice.
So at the time,
then-
yeah. So I think more depth needs to go into that story though, because obviously,
Yeah,
like more like the repercussions of what could have happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well, I'm
we,
going to tell you what happened first.
Yeah, go on.
So the bezel was cracked. We didn't
The
realise.
the
One of the
actual
diamonds
diamond.
was cracked, one of the TBR diamonds, and I don't know how much it cost from Rolex
It
at the time.
it would have been 20-30k
Yeah, it would have been-
easy
probably would have bankrupted us.
to sort that problem. And I think we was broken it for a couple
I
of
think
grand.
we were just eager to get a big watch sold, and we were rushing into it.
And at the time, I think these watches like 150. At the
Yeah,
time,
it's like COVID, it's like COVID times,
they were a
yeah.
lot. They're more like 80k now, 70-80k.
Yeah.
But at the time, they're like 150. We were broken it for some stupid money, not even making a bit. The fact that we was even broken it's stupid anyway.
Yeah, way out of our
Just seeing the dollar signs.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we'd have bought that, we'd have to stand on the watch, pay for the damage. It's just money that we'd never been able to pull up. Like ever,
it would have been
like we'd have to, I don't know, work our lives off the rest
the
of
runner.
it. Yeah. So yeah, certain things obviously early on, which was in a sense it's lucky that it happened early on, because it changes your whole mindset. It changes the way you work.
Yeah, we haven't made that many mistakes. Well, we obviously made a few, but we haven't made that many mistakes.
Yeah, like
since.
And to be honest with you,
early on.
some dealers make big mistakes like that, and you won't hear from them ever again, because that is the fine line that you can take sometimes of making a mistake so big that that's your business done after that, you know. And if you are someone of your man, a man of your word, and you want to sort that problem out after, You know, you've got to then
It can cost.
pay up whatever it takes to sort those problems out.
So how did you kind of avoid, like what happened there?
We noticed.
No, I don't think we noticed. The deal didn't go through. We
No,
noticed
yeah.
after.
Oh,
The deal
sorry.
didn't
Yes.
go through. The guy
Sorry,
pulled
yeah.
out. It must
The
have
guy,
sold it elsewhere.
the guy, we bid too low on it in the end, and the guy said it was too low.
I think. But yeah, I think someone else bought it.
Someone else bought it,
I think
and they said to us, "Is
Yeah.
that cracked?" And we was like, and that's
Yeah.
when we realised, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, that could have been the watch that we bought. It was that close to, because we made a bid on it. We didn't even notice the crack.
It was a tiny. It was one of the diamonds, the top one of the TBR. Just one of the little diamonds was just the corner was missing. So yeah, probably had to replace the whole bezel. Or either way, it would have been big loss for us.
One thing that probably a lot of people don't realise is like the risks or the potential for it to all go wrong in like running a watch business, right?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it's risking any job that you do, really. But obviously, the money we're laying out and stuff, and a lot of the time we're laying out big money based off our own opinion and knowledge. You know, like we've had watches come in before, and yes, we've bought Patek, we've bought AP, we've bought all these brands before. But when a watch comes into you that, you know, essentially it's the first model that you've ever bought of that model, and you know what you're looking at in a sense, but like, you know, you are trusting your own knowledge and your own
Research,
opinion.
yeah.
You know, you might be putting 80, 90 grand into a watch that you've just looked at yourself and you think, yeah, that's how and we know what we're doing at the end of the day, but we're the only ones to blame if something has gone wrong down that line. In that sense, that maybe something's not original. We'd be the ones to blame in that sense. And it's like that one mistake that we make. If we went and bought a Patek for 90k that wasn't original, that can undo a couple of months months of work. You know, like you might have had a good couple of months and you think, oh, we're doing really well here. That'll bring you back to, you know, square one again. So there's a lot of risk in this industry. There's a lot of risk in what we do.
I guess like an example of that was recently when you guys were offering them FP Journes, right, where you hadn't dealt in them before, am I right?
Yeah, do you know? And yeah, I think that was the first time in a long while that I felt that sort of the nervousness.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
We didn't know. We're looking at
we're so accustomed to certain brands now that it's like clockwork. You know, it comes in. You know what you're looking at. With these FP Journes, they're like, you know, they are quartz watches. I think they're probably very hard to fake, but me and Ben were looking at these watches and thinking, you know, like
we went and got another FP Journe that we knew we didn't have one in the area to compare it to because we didn't know what we were looking at.
We wasn't sure, in all honesty.
Watchmaker to look as well, and it took a lot of research to make the offer.
And it was a massive layout for us to lay out that money to buy them watches. So, you know, like it was almost like, you know, could have been a huge loss if it wasn't correct. But obviously, yeah, you know, not sold yet, but the gambles will pay off.
Hopefully.
It's the same in anything in life, you know. You have got a gamble to make sometimes, and you know, hopefully our gamble does pay off. But yeah, it can be a massive risk. I'm not talking about sometimes it might not be to do with fake or stolen and stuff like that. It can be to do with how the market is. You know, in the past where we've bought watches in the height of COVID and then they fell out of bed within a couple of weeks. There are also lessons and risks that we've taken over the years. We lost 15 grand on one Daytona at one point. That's a risk that didn't pay off. So it's not always about if something's fake or been stolen. It can literally be to do with the fluctuation of the market. You know, a risk that we're taking at the moment is the amount of watches we have in stock. There's no guarantee that these watches are going to be worth anything in the future, or even tomorrow, for example. We could wake up tomorrow and there's been a crash of all luxury assets. And
Which is exactly what happened before. Like watches, they just dropped in a day.
Like the money that we're sitting on could be worth next to nothing tomorrow, for all we know, you know. But that's the risk that we're willing to take for this business. So, yeah, there's a lot of different risks, a lot of different gambles in this industry. But you know, we're here to do both sides of it, I guess.
I guess there might be some people watching this who like maybe not necessarily want to start a watch business, but like are interested in the process of like going from, for example, being in Hatton Garden to obviously now being here where you are at Mayfair. Like, is there one sort of like major thing that you learned, like not necessarily a lesson, just like a kind of overall like message to take away from sort of like the last 6 years of starting pretty small and then now having this sort of shop?
My main advice would be to not grow too fast. Just based off our experience in it. You know, like it's tough. It's coming into this shop was tough for us, and we probably
cut down our stock by a lot to
underestimated
buy the
it a little
shop,
bit.
and then,
Maybe bit off a little bit more than we can chew, but we're chewing again now.
yeah,
and
it's slowly starting to pay off now.
But at first, me and Ben were like
stressful.
stressed. It was. We probably did grow a bit too quick. Probably the amount we grew. Like we probably was ready for a shop. Maybe we wasn't ready for the scale of this shop, but it happened anyway, and we had to go crack on with it. But if you're making good money on where you're at the moment, don't feel the need to grow. Like look at Moses in New York, for example, one of the biggest jewelers in our industry, and he's only recently got his own shop. He's been on a counter.
I didn't even know he's got a shop.
No, he's got a shop now. Yeah, but he had a counter, on 47th Street for years and years. He's got millions of followers on Instagram. He didn't grow because he didn't need to. It just goes to show if you can keep your outgoings very low and still do the business that you're doing, stick to that. Don't let your ego take you further than you need to be.
How did you sort of like decide, like how, what are the signs, if you know what I mean? How do you know when you're sort of ready to even go from like selling online to having even going to the arcade and then moving on from there? Like,
I just think when we had business coming in from all different angles, it got to the point where it wasn't just it's true, but it wasn't just people coming into the arcade for us. Like we had good social media, good website, good word of mouth from customers that have bought from us. So that's 3 or 4 angles there that we were constantly getting business from. So it was almost like we had to grow a little bit. We had to make that leap of faith. I don't know. We were probably ready for longer than what we actually done the jump, but you just get lost in the whole business side of it. You get lost in selling, and you just put all that stuff to the side. But I just think that our lease come to an end where we was. That probably made us think about it a little bit more. And it was just, sometimes you got to jump at things. You got to take the risks.
I remember you guys talking to me before about like when you started in the arcade about how it was like £100 a week or something like that.
No, that was in the jewelry.
The jewelry wash change.
So that was
£100 a week.
No, it was £125 a week. We paid £500 a month for this count. Now, don't get me wrong.
And even then, at the time, that was quite a lot of money for us to pay out.
Don't get me wrong. It was probably about this big.
Yeah.
It was tiny. Like maybe
like this much space at the back.
Do you know what? Maybe I'll get a picture and you can put it into the YouTube video. Because I've got a picture of me and Ben on this counter. And people that will know us, there was absolutely nothing in that counter. It was like a couple of watches.
We've got a picture when we started as well.
Like, a couple of old 1980s AIDS watches and a couple of watches that people had given to us to sell, and it was like, absolutely nothing in there. But that's
COVID hit, and we got quite lucky. Our stock went from probably doubled or tripled in a short period of time.
I guess it was kind of I'm not going to say easier because it's never easy, but when it was like £125 a week, you could sort of like...
Yeah, we were still living at home with our parents, there were no bills.
It was almost, there wasn't no risk, there was risk, but it's next to no risk, Like, the way we looked at it is, if we can't go and make more than £500 a month off what we're doing now, it's our time to think that this isn't a game for us, because, we've come from normal 9-to-5 jobs, we've come from a normal background, like, it wasn't the end of the world for us if we had to go back to a normal job. That was kind of what we had in our minds anyway. It was almost like, look, what's the worst that could happen? We just go back to a job. We probably did half expect to be going back to our jobs in a I don't know, 6 months, a year, probably just testing the waters out and then probably go back to a normal job. That's probably what you had in our minds. And then it didn't turn out that way. We're here now, but like Ben said, we still lived that with my mum and dad's at the time. Didn't have no outgoings. Had like a phone bill, weren't the end of the world. So it's like we didn't have pressure. It's not like we had kids to provide for or a mortgage to pay, where we're going into a business where we've already got so many outgoings that we're kind of up against it already. We went into a business with next to no outgoings and just whatever happens, and that helped us. Yeah. But for someone that's already at a certain age where they've got all these outgoings and they've got this, life
to pay for.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it's still not easy now for us. We're still finding it difficult with certain things, but you've got to take risks in life, otherwise you will never get to where you need to be.
This might sound like a bit of a tangent. Obviously, I know you guys, so it's like, but other people might not know this about you. But obviously, we actually weirdly knew each other, like Ben and I, on Facebook, because of how you guys kind of roughly got into buying and selling. Do you think that had any like impact on them buying and selling watches, like buying and selling clothes?
For him, obviously, yeah, that was his that was his
Yeah.
thing. Like I didn't really, that wasn't really my thing. He more used to sell clothes to me,
Yeah.
making money out of me
Pay for 'em.
as usual.
No, yeah, I guess it's just natural for me to buy and sell. I always bought and sold clothes when I was younger, shoes and clothes, and then worked up. I bought a watch. What was the first watch? Datejust 2, I think it was. I've got off eBay for cheap. Sold that. I've got a black sub, Datejust 36, and then eventually became a couple, and that's what started off us in the 16.
Yeah, no, but I feel like even with like the jobs that Ben's had, the jobs that I've had, they all intertwine into what we're doing now. Like, so he was an estate agent, I was in recruitment, then I come into the jewellery business.
Selling,
You know, it's still people skills, selling to people. Like everything that we've done for our life does have a link to this in a sense. It's not too dissimilar from what people know us as. Like, it's not like it's a complete change in industry or life from us. Like, you know, people probably expected this sort of thing from us, to be honest.
In terms of the actual like watches, like, is it something that you've actually always been passionate about, or you sort of like grew to love them a bit more? I mean, am I right in saying that you started off doing more jewellery than watches? Or
We both started working for jewellers. Well, he got me the job
Yeah.
in Hatton Garden. Did we not? Sorry, can we cut this? Did we not do this before?
I think so, but I don't think we've done it.
Yeah, cool. He got a job. I was working as estate agent. He was working in Hatton Garden for a jewellery company. I lost my job as the estate agent because I was too busy selling clothes and other things. And he got me the job there. And then we worked there 10 years ago. He worked there a little bit longer than me. How long did you work there? 5 years?
4 years.
I was there for 3 years.
I was there.
4 years.
I was store manager there for a bit. So I actually did prefer the jewellery. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, when we first started this business together, the plan was I do the jewellery side of things and he does the watch side of things.
Diamond Brothers came from.
Like, I didn't have a clue about watches. I couldn't even take a watch out. I couldn't even take a link out of a watch on my first.
Still can't.
Yeah. On our first couple of days, I didn't know anything. But it soon took over Ben's knowledge quite quickly, to be honest with you. Like, and people come to me for advice now rather than Ben because he's absolutely clueless.
No. So yeah, I mean, I started doing watches, and we was meant to watches and jewellery, but watches just became.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm getting called up.